S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, it is a warm and pretty picturesque late summer afternoon at Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no. Run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Mike's 56. Coming to you, coming to you. Check. Great.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Back. 8.
Now Newton. He's going to fire one deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things... I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Come on, set. 15, run. 15, run. Go.
Pick it up, D.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Here we go, here we go. 18, Gator.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
6 guys. Check this out.
This is McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ready.
Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
5.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now on 2nd and 13, Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check, 59. You must be dreaming. Mike 59.
Back to throw, Newton. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Gordon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready?
Right there, 56. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They will go for it. Now Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Get in the weight room.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the Chargers' 5-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Bengals 3, Chargers 0.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
20.
56, the mark, boy, 56. Here we go, D. Mike 56, Mike 56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Jordan Reed has it. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Newton on first down. Looking long for it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. 2nd and 15. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 37. Check 37.
Get it.
They're going to look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Down. 8, read.
54. I got wide. Check.
Ready?
On first down, this is McCaffrey. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Just like that.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Hey, Alpha. Hey.
You got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that.
Topper. Survive.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 20-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's McCaffrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense They still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
70, Indy.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Ready up.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's go.
3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready, set.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
And the Bengals first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Lock it.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try the air now with Newton. This is caught by Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 7 yards there and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Grant. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a give, right side. Grant, and only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Go.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check, 56. Double dog. That's the way.
They snap it to Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bengals will get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Let's get it.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go. 50, plant. Look at me. Go. Hey, box truck. Snap.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. 36 yards on the play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
They'll look to throw. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He'll drop to throw. That's to McCaffrey, complete. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Again, they run again. It's McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Now a carry here for their fullback. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Newton now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check. Crouch.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey.
I got you, boy.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Flushed out right. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points.
Let's go. Come on.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. 61 matchbox lights.
You gonna see me in your nightmare. Shift.
Look at me. Zipper. 5.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Christian McCaffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Eluding the pressure right, and seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They are down big. They have not scored a single point I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes Coach say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Another toe for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible. Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one. They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bengals, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.